Hello students, how are you all? Hope you are happy and healthy in your homes. And this is your Prabhakar. Welcome to my class, Dawn of Chemistry. Right. So in this session, we are going to discuss about the change. This is generally we call it as a reaction. Change or reaction. How can you define change or reaction? Means this change or reaction means to understand mainly about the chemical reactions. First we should have idea on this. What are the reactions? What are the factors that affects or that initiates a reaction, or what are the factors that create a change in anything? So those things we will be discussing in this thing. Let us see change. When you take, there is a system A. Let us take ice. This ice, whenever you are supplying heat, ice will be converted into the water whenever you are supplying heat. So here you see, ice is an initial one and water is the final one. This is known as reactant. It's not reactant. So before change and after change, the change can be caused by heating, like that. Whenever you take A and apply some temperature, that will be converted into B, and you take water vapor, and if you cool this one, you will get water. When you take carbon and burn the carbon, it will form carbon dioxide. Take hydrogen and burn hydrogen, you will get water. Like this, in our universe there are so many things which will be happening. Initially they will be in some state, and whenever you are applying some temperature or pressure, they will change from their state to the another state. The phenomena of conversion of anything from one state to the another state is known as change or reaction. Majorly the change depends on two factors, that is temperature and pressure. Mostly this depends on any change will depend on the temperature and pressure. It depends on other some minute factors also, but we will not much study about them. Or it can be done by mixing also. The change can be brought about by mixing also. So basically, whenever there are two components and they are brought together, and any parameter like temperature of the surroundings or pressure of the surroundings, or when they are mixed, they will change from one state into the another state. That is known as change or reaction. This change or reaction, mainly two types of will be there. Change or reaction is mainly two types will be there. That is physical change and then chemical change. Physical change and then chemical change. Physical change means a change, you see here, water vapor and then ice to water is there. Physical change means a change which happened due to the change in the surrounding factors, and it gets converted into the another state. And when we remove the applied conditions, that comes to the initial position is known as the physical change. How can you define physical change? Means a change that happened due to the environmental factor changes, and when the environmental factor changes are removed, it comes to the initial position or initial state, then it is known as a physical change. Or change in which no new substances is formed is known as a physical change. Chemical change means a change in which a substance or any component will be converted into another component by applying environmental conditions or by changing the environmental conditions, and the formed ones cannot be converted into the starting ones. That is known as a chemical change. If you take for example ice, you take ice on heating gives you water, and if you cool the water means you will get the ice. And second one, you take wax, heat wax means you will get the liquid. If you cool the liquid means you will get the wax. But in chemical changes, C plus O2 gives CO2, H2 plus O2 gives 2H2O. Like this, you can have physical change and then chemical change. In physical change, only physical properties will change. Chemical composition does not change. And in chemical change, all the physical properties will change as well as the chemical composition also will be changing. So that is the thing regarding this chemical change. Let me tell you with a brief explanation what is the physical change and what is the chemical change. See, there is a person, when he is going to marriage, what he will do? This person will apply some makeup to this fellow and he will change his costume. So here costume changed. Why costume changed? Because he is going to marriage means his environment changed. So in the same way here ice is there. We are changing the surroundings or environment of ice. So ice is moving from one form into the another form. Here also same thing. There is a person, but don't write these examples in your exams. What is physical change? Means changing costume during going to marriage, changing costume during going to some other anniversary, changing costume during going to the school, changing costume during going to the beach. This kind of examples don't write. For your understanding purpose, I am telling you this thing. So whenever marriage is there means he will go in a different costume. When he is going to school or college, he will change a different costume. So like this, whenever the environment changes, his physical appearance will be changing, but internally the person will be changing. His all properties will be same only. Only appearance will be changing. Chemical nature will be same only. But in chemical reaction, chemical change, you see, whenever there are two fellows, let's take one male will be there and one female is there. When both got married, their environment completely changed and they will form a family. So here, whenever male and female are there, when they are getting married, so this is the reaction here. So whenever they got married and they will form a family. So here, as individuals they will have different properties. As a family they will have different properties. Once you remove all the family setup means they will not again become individuals. Are you understanding? Here, when you go to marriage, you will wear one costume. When you come home means immediately you change the costume and you will become the normal person. But here this is not possible. Once you got married means it is not possible to get the individuals easily. Are you understanding? So like that, any change in which one substance changes its physical appearance and forms the same substance with different physical properties, that is known as physical change. And in physical change, only physical properties will alter, chemical properties does not alter. You cannot get the starting materials by removing the applied environment. You can get the starting materials by removing the applied environment, that is physical change. Let's come to chemical change. Once chemical change happens means you can never get the starting material. How can you define chemical change? Means change in which the starting materials will be converted into a different product that will be having completely different physical and chemical properties is known as the chemical change. In chemical change you can't get the starting materials. So the best examples for chemical change, there are so many, n number of reactions are there. It's not possible for me to write all these reactions on this thing, so I'm just giving you 2 or 3 examples. In laboratory you want to do the experiments means zinc oxide will be there in your laboratory, which will be white in color. If you heat the zinc oxide, it will be converted into the yellow color. When you take zinc oxide, which is white in color, once you heat that zinc oxide, it will be forming the yellow color. So that's why you can take this as an example for the chemical change. By heating wax or heating ice, you can consider anything you can consider those things under the physical changes. So basically, whenever a reaction is happening, the main environment which will promote the reaction happening is temperature, pressure, and then mixing. These three are the main factors that will affect the process of a reaction. So that is the thing. Now let us get into the chemical change. This is important one. What are the different chemical changes and how can we study those chemical changes, and why elements undergo chemical change, or why elements undergo chemical change? Here I will tell you why whenever you brought two elements together and change the environment, why they should undergo chemical reaction means, see, in the periodic table different elements are present. This is the periodic table. This is S block, this is P block, and this is D block, and this is F block. In these things, the P block elements are considered as non-metals, not completely. Majorly P block will be consisting of non-metals, S block will consist of metals, and D block consists of metals and metalloids. What you can consider is, here also metals and metals will be present. Here you see, basically human beings can be classified as male, female, and transgenders. Three categories are there. In the same way, here also elements also can be classified into different categories: metals, non-metals, and metalloids. Metals behaves like males, non-metals behave like females, and metalloids behaves like both male and female. In our society, to understand this clearly, I am comparing like this one. Don't think actually non-metals will be behaving like females and metals will behave like males. It is a general conclusion I am giving you to give you the brief idea about the elements. See, chemistry is a science which is supported by the human thoughts. Are you understanding? It is not a big book which has come from the gods. It is a science which is happening in the universe, and that is supported by the human conclusion. So that's why mostly the conclusions in chemistry will be relative to the human thoughts only. So see here, if you see for example, why men and women get married? Why? Because whenever the men and women don't get married means their emotions and their social feelings and their economical feelings and their economical needs, they don't be matched up with one another. So whenever any person is without marriage means he will be having no mental support from the any other fellow. So as you are going increasing your age means there will be no proper mental support for anybody, okay? Because humans are social animals, they have to socialize. So for that purpose, to get stability, the major reason for marriage is the stability. Once he get married means mentally he gets stability because he gets some mental support and physical support from the different families. So that's why people get married to get stability. In the same way, here also elements reacts with one another to get the stability. If you see here, there are some noble gases. They are like sadhus. We have sadhus, right, who don't get married. So many saints we are having, they will not get married because they are highly stable. Why they are highly stable means they have gone through all the difficulties through their life and they will come to know what is what. So that's why they will be stable. In the same way, these inert gases are there. They will be highly stable and they don't participate in the reactions. But other elements will participate in the reaction. So why they participate in the reactions means to get stability. when they are present in the form of elements, they will be having excess electrons or deficit of electrons in moderate range of electrons. Some, if they can be donating electrons and they can be taking electrons also. That kind of elements are metalloids. So like that, total elements we are having, some elements will be rich in electrons, some elements will be deficient in electrons, and some elements will be having some moderate number of electrons. So like that they will be having. So to get the stability, either they will lose electrons, either they will gain electrons, either they will share electrons. So that's why as humans get married to get the stability, elements also will combine with one another to form the compound. So elements will have different properties, the formed compounds will have different properties. As individuals before will have some properties, after marriage as a family they will have some collective properties. So like that you can easily compare this chemistry with your real life. Now let us see these chemical changes are there. How many types of chemical changes are present? Let's get into the details. Take down this for a few minutes. Right, let's get into the details. So let us see chemical reactions. See, basically these chemical reactions are classified into 4 categories. The first one is combination reactions, decomposition reactions, displacement reactions, double displacement reactions, some minor categories are present that also I will explain. So let us get into the details. Let's see. Combination reactions. The name itself indicates combines. See, chemical reaction. Every chemical reaction will be having an arrow. The components before arrow is known as reactants. Components after arrow are known as the products. Components before arrow is known as the reactants. Component after the arrow are known as the products. Let us see the combination reactions. Reactions in which 2 or more elements or 2 or more compounds combine with one another to form a different compound. They are known as the combination reactions. Example, H2 plus Cl2 gives 2HCl. C plus O2 gives CO2, SO2, 2SO2 plus O2 gives 2SO3, NO plus Cl2 gives NoCl2. Like this you can have number of reactions. So reactions in which elements will combine with one another, or elements or compounds will combine with one another to form the products are known as the combination reactions. Mostly you see in the combination reactions, definitely in reactants one element will be present. Definitely in the reactants one element will be present, that is combination reactions. Next one is decomposition. Decomposition means whenever you take CaCO3 or MgCO3, NaNO3, HGO, whenever you take any substance, apply some amount of heat to that one. Whenever you take any reactant molecules and apply some amount of heat, it will decompose to produce 2 or more compounds. Those reactions are known as the decomposition reactions. NaNO2 plus O2 will come, 2Hg plus O2 will be coming. Like this, whenever there is a compound which is subjected to the temperature change, that will break into the 2 or more compounds. They are known as the decomposition. Since by heat these are decomposed, these are known as the thermal decomposition reactions. If you take PbNO3 gives PbO plus NO2 will be coming. Like this, number of examples are there where, sir, how can I identify this decomposition? Means always remember one substance will be present. After breaking, it will produce 2 or more compounds. That is nothing but the decomposition reactions. Clear? And combination reactions means mostly 2 or more components will be there. When you are adding them, they will produce finally one compound. That is nothing but the combination reaction. This is nothing but the decomposition reactions. Let's get into the displacement reactions. Let us see, for example, in a restaurant, there is a person sitting here, there is a person sitting here, and sitting here. They are having some snacks. Here, 4 people are sitting and having some drinks. In a restaurant, there is no place for them to sit somewhere. A very strong person has come. He is very strong and he is rowdy also. So whenever he comes and he wants a seat, means what happens? Definitely one of this person has to go and he has to give the seat to him, right? It happens definitely. So whenever any strong person comes, the weak person will be removed from its position. Or in the same way, elements also, some strong elements are there and some weak elements are there. Whenever the strong element comes, definitely the weak element should be removed. This we will study in case of the metals. In my previous video, we have discussed about the electrochemical series. In that case, I have told you the metals in the top of the electrochemical series are the strongest metals. So they remove bottom metals from their compounds, and when it comes to the non-metals, the bottom non-metals will remove the top non-metals from their compounds. How they are removing means, see, zinc plus CuSO4 gives ZnSO4 plus Cu. AlCl3 plus Fe will come. And for non-metals, KCl plus F2 gives 2KF plus Cl2 will come. 2Ki plus Cl2 gives 2KCl plus I2 will come. So like this we can have the reaction. So displacement reactions. Reactions in which one of the element will replace the other element from their compounds is known as the displacement. In this displacement, the displacement order is very important one, which will displace which element from its compound. This is very important thing. Next we see double displacement reactions. What are these double displacement reactions? Means, see, HCl plus NaOH gives NaCl plus H2O will come. H2SO4 plus NaOH gives Na2SO4 plus H2O will come. So like this, whatever the reactions you take, here you see hydrogen is displaced by the sodium, hydrogen is displaced by the sodium, and sulfate is displaced by the OH. So see, here this OH group is displaced by the sulfate ion. So the reactions in which there will be mutual exchange of ions between one another, then it is known as the double displacement reaction. So reactions in which the compounds exchange ions between one another are known as the double displacement. So why they undergo double displacement means here HCl is highly unstable and more reactive because the bond between these two is weaker bond, but when it comes to here, the bond between these two is a stronger bond and the bond between these two also stronger bond. So whenever there is a stronger bonds formation is possible, definitely those compounds will arrange themselves to get the stable compounds. That is the double displacement reactions. Whatever the reaction you take, the basic reason is always to move from higher energy state to the lower energy state. Elements will undergo chemical reactions. And finally, I told you some other type of reactions are there, that is addition reactions and then rearrangement reactions. Addition reactions and rearrangement reactions means reactions in which one of the element or one of the compound will attach to the another compound are known as the addition reactions. The best example for addition reactions is CH2 double bond CH2 plus H2 gives CH3 single bond, CH3 will come like this. Alkene undergo hydrogenation reaction to produce the alkane compound will come, and here you see NO plus Cl2 will be forming the NoCl2 will be coming like that. Also you can take this one, or you can classify addition reactions as a classification of combination reactions. Rearrangement reaction means NH4CNO on heating forms NH2CO NH2. Whenever you take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexane or take butane, whenever you take butane and treat with AlCl3, it forms the isobutane. So like this we can study about the types of chemical reactions. This is the fundamental thing about the chemical reactions. Since I wanted to start the redox reactions in the upcoming chapter, to understand better about the redox reactions, first we should have some idea on the what are reactions. Since we are discussing from the foundation level onwards, I have explained this concept in this video. Clear? Hope you got clarity about what is a reaction. What is a reaction means simply when a substance is moving from one state to the another state, then we call it as a reaction or change. Basically these are two types of changes are there. Physical change is there and then chemical change is there. What is physical change? What are the properties of physical changes? What is chemical change and what are the properties of the chemical change? Next, coming to the thing, chemical reactions. How a reaction you have to represent means an arrow should be present between the reactants and then products. Always these reactants and products will be formed according to the laws of chemical combinations. Whenever we are discussing about the stoichiometry, in the stoichiometry I will explain what are the laws of chemical combination. So what are combination reactions, what are decomposition reactions, and what are displacement reactions, and what are double displacement reactions. In your competitive exams like Olympiad, since this is the very fundamental concept, in Olympiads only there is a chance of asking questions on this concept. So combination, they will give you some reactions and they will ask you it falls under which category of chemical reaction, this falls under which category of chemical reaction, which of the following reaction is possible. As we have discussed in electrochemical series, that based on that we will be explaining all these things. So that is the thing regarding the what are chemical reactions. In the next video we will be discussing about the redox reactions. That's for today's class. Hope you are enjoying the videos, and if you like this video means click the like button. If you want to share with your friends means share the video. If you want to get more notifications from my channel means subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon. Thank you.